I think the Nick Foles winning the Super Bowl with the Eagles is another reason or another thing you can go back to for hyping up Nick Mullens. Like, it can be done. It can be done with backup quarterbacks. You don't need to have a top tier quarterback. So,
and let's make a point real quick. Foles is not a better quarterback than Carson Wentz. He's not. He's not as good of an athlete as Carson Wentz, although Foles is kind of athletic. But in that particular scheme, Foles is better. In an RPO, dink and dunk, throw 8-yard passes all day scheme, that's what Foles has been doing his whole life, going back
Wentz
to college.
Was going to win MVP that year, though. He
True.
was like an MVP frontrunner.
True, and he did pretty good with the RPO stuff, but he doesn't do pretty good with it now. Whatever this system is now doesn't seem to suit him that well. And I think the issue with Mullens and Garoppolo is obviously Garoppolo is more athletic than Mullens. Obviously, Garoppolo would have success on more teams than Mullens would, I think. But on this team, with this system, I'm not sure that Garoppolo is better than Mullens. I'm not saying Mullens is better, but I think what Shanahan's asking these quarterbacks to do, it's not 100% clear that Mullens can't do it as well as Garoppolo. It's just not. So I guess we'll see. If he lays an egg against the Eagles, then we'll know more. But for right now, my working hypothesis is that they're pretty. I mean, Leo was saying they're definitely on different tiers. I don't know. I think they might be on the same tier, and I think that's what's so intriguing.
Yeah, that's fair. How could you say otherwise? You can't. The sample size is too small.
I mean, I love Leo, but when I pushed back a little, he was very passionate when he said it. And when I said, okay, well, why? I just don't hear the argument for how Jimmy Garoppolo is head and shoulders better. It's the win record, the win-loss record, the experience. I get that. Fair enough. But physically, it seems like neither one has a big arm. Neither one's mobile. I just don't see it. But yeah, I don't want to argue with someone who's not here.
And the two things that people often point to when they try to say that Nick Mullens is just a backup quarterback and a good one is they'll point to his 3-5 record in 2018. But Garoppolo was 1-2 through his 3 starts, and they point to his touchdown to interception ratio, which was 13-10, I believe. And he was an undrafted free agent rookie. You know, it's like throwing 10 touchdowns isn't that bad for a guy that's starting games for the first time in his career. So the sample size is too small. The jury's not out on either quarterback. You can't convince me personally that Jimmy Garoppolo's a whole tier or two above Nick Mullens because we don't know too much about either guy.
Final point, a lot of people want to make the point that Jimmy Garoppolo is good enough for the Niners, that they can win a Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay, I'm not disputing that, even though he failed.
It's true.
I'm not disputing that. I think he could too. Yeah. But if theoretically, if Jimmy's good enough, and you can find a guy who's just as good as Jimmy for a fraction of the price, how do you not go there? How do you not go? If we agree that Jimmy's skill set is good enough, someone who can replicate it for 1/30th of the price, that's a no-brainer. Because now you get Jimmy plus other players, right? That's what you're working with. It doesn't have to be better. Yeah. So anyway, Maverick over here being like, I hate this discussion. I hate Nick.
I'm just trying to think who I mean, because I think Jimmy should start over Mullens, but I'm just trying to think in my own mind who would even be able to take on Garoppolo's contract and trade for him. So that's just where my thought process was the whole time.
New England is waiting. The way I think is New England has a ton of cap space. And I don't know if they sent him to the Niners anticipating all this would happen, because probably not. But I think from what I heard, they approached the Niners during the offseason with an offer, a first-round pick for Jimmy, and the Niners said no. Well, I think that the Patriots would be smart to be like, okay, well, maybe we'll revisit this next year, because it's the worst-kept secret in the league that Kyle Shanahan is just a little less than 100% satisfied with Jimmy Garoppolo. And if more time goes on and Jimmy misses more games or regresses or whatever happens, revisit that trade next offseason, and the Niners maybe say yes if they've talked themselves into Nick Mullens the way Nick and I have.